यूक्रेन पर रूसी हमले का मुद्दा अब संयुक्त राष्ट्र आम सभा यानी यूएन जनरल असेंबली में उठाया जाएगा। ये बैठक 28 फरवरी को न्यूयॉर्क के समय के हिसाब से दिन में 10 बजे यानी भारतीय समय के मुताबिक शाम को होगी। भारत, यूएई और चीन संयुक्त राष्ट्र आम सभा बुलाने के लिए हुई बैठक की वोटिंग से बाहर रहे। इसके पहले पिछले शुक्रवार को संयुक्त राष्ट्र सुरक्षा परिषद में रूस के खिलाफ प्रस्ताव पर हुई वोटिंग में इन देशों ने अलग अलग कारणों से मतदान नहीं किया था। रूस ने सुरक्षा परिषद में रखे गए प्रस्ताव को वीटो कर दिया था। आम सभा की बैठक बुलाने के लिए हुई वोटिंग में 11 देशों ने उसके पक्ष में मतदान किए। ये वोटिंग प्रक्रियात्मक थी, इसमें वीटो का प्रावधान नहीं था। ऐसे में बहुमत से आम सभा बुलाने का प्रस्ताव पारित हो गया। हालांकि रूस ने इसका विरोध किया था।
3 abstentions. Given, in line with established procedure at the Security Council, this matter and this vote was procedural in nature. The draft resolution is now deemed to be adopted as Resolution 2623, 2022.
संयुक्त राष्ट्र में भारत के स्थायी प्रतिनिधि टी.एस. त्रिमूर्ति ने भारत के रुख को सही ठहराते हुए कहा कि शुक्रवार से यूक्रेन में शुरू हुई हिंसा और बदतर होती चली गई और ये बहुत ही दुखद है।
Mr. President, it is regrettable that the situation in Ukraine has worsened further since the Council last convened on this matter. We reiterate our call for immediate cessation of violence and an end to all hostilities. There is no other choice but to return back to the path of diplomacy and dialogue. Our Prime Minister has advocated this strongly in his recent conversations with the leadership of the Russian Federation and Ukraine. In this regard, we welcome today's announcement by both sides to hold talks at the Belarus border. The global order is anchored on international law, UN Charter, and respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty of all states. We are all agreed on these principles. We continue to be deeply concerned about the safety and security of Indian nationals, including a large number of Indian students who are still stranded in Ukraine. Our evacuation efforts have been adversely impacted by the complex and uncertain situation at the border crossings. It is important to maintain an uninterrupted and predictable movement of people. It is an urgent humanitarian necessity that must be immediately addressed. Taking into consideration the totality of circumstances, we decided to abstain. Thank you.
इसके पहले संयुक्त राष्ट्र महासचिव एंटोनियो गुटेरेस ने रूस की आलोचना की थी और यूक्रेन में मानवीय सहायता कार्यक्रम चलाने के लिए एक विशेष दूत की नियुक्ति का ऐलान किया था।
Today, that objective was not achieved. But we must never give up. We must give peace another chance. Soldiers need to return to their barracks. Leaders need to turn to the path of dialogue and peace. Today, in Ukraine, despite growing operational challenges, the UN is scaling up the delivery of life-saving support, including in the eastern part of the country, on both sides of the line of control. Humanitarian needs are multiplying and spreading by the hour. Civilians are dying. At least 100,000 Ukrainians have already reportedly fled their homes, with many crossing into neighboring countries, underlining the regional nature of this growing crisis. To strengthen our response, I'm announcing today that I appointed Amin Awad as the UN Crisis Coordinator for Ukraine. Amin worked closely with me for a decade in UNHCR. He will lead the coordination of all our efforts, including our humanitarian response on both sides of the contact line. All concerned in this conflict must respect international humanitarian law and guarantee the safety and freedom of movements of UN staff and other humanitarians. Especially in a moment like this, it is important to remember that the UN is not just the chamber behind me. It is tens of thousands of women and men around the world, feeding the hungry, vaccinating children, promoting development, protecting civilians in peacekeeping operations, mediating conflicts, supporting refugees and migrants, advancing human rights, standing, delivering, extending a lifeline of hope. The United Nations Charter has been challenged in the past, but it has stood firm on the side of peace, security, development, justice, international law, and human rights. Time after time, when the international community has rallied together in solidarity, those values have prevailed. They will prevail independently of what happened today. We must do everything in our power so that they prevail in Ukraine, but they prevail for all humanity. Thank you.